Coming up on AFL Today, we wrap up round 10, and Leo, you are not a believer in my beloved Gold Coast.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. I'm just not quite there with the Suns. It's very harsh, but it's just my opinion. Don't hate me.
Oh, I'm going to be a bit more positive. The Eagles got a win on the board. My beloved North got another win on the board. First one at the G, which is a good little stat there.
Isaac Heeney's an A-grader. AFL Today starts right now. What a weird and wonderful weekend of footy that was. Welcome to AFL Today's Round 10 wrap-up. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. I'm in a great mood because Sydney finally decided to play some football for, well, about 7 minutes, but more on that later. I'm joined, as always, by a guy who can tell you what a really good French food place is, aka a restaurant. It's Leo Mullaly.
I can do that. I am also the only loser on this couch this week.
Yeah, that's a bit rare for the Hawks, man. Yeah.
I'm very sad. Please
I don't know
send
why
some love in the comments.
No, you can cop it. You can cop it.
And a man who lived through it once again today.
He did it.
There was a barrage of text messages from myself ready to go if they found a way to lose once again.
Were they
But
scheduled from like weeks ago?
they are scheduled for every time North Melbourne plays. But North Melbourne have won. And the stats guy, aka Lee McAllion, he's here. He's happy.
Yes, I am.
Kanga. He's done it.
Oh, thank God. I get to come in here and talk about a win. It's been a great month and we finally got a win. I'm so happy. And I've never been more stressed in my life, probably in a very long time. That was very stressful.
I've so many comments I could go with, but I'm going to behave
It's
right
a
now.
bit of heat in the moment.
Man, I was like, I could get a lot here, but anyway, we won't do that. But yeah, good job, North. I'm still not convinced you know how to win games of footy anyway, but we do have a lot going on today. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Make sure you hit the little subscribe and notifications button. So every time we do a video, it'll pop up in your feed, as well as X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow us there. AFL Today AU on all the platforms except for Facebook, which is Aussie Rules Today. Give us a like, give us a follow, get around us, because the boys did a bunch of content earlier today, and some of it's actually pretty funny. So.
Yeah, with Rock Rovers.
Yeah,
that was
keep an eye out
really
on the
good
socials
fun.
because that'll be coming out.
Yeah, they love a bit of TikTok, so get around them.
All right, we may as well get into it. Straight into the ladder check. I'm handballing this one to the stats guy this week because he's about to take over the show for the next 5 weeks.
Oh, yes, I am. I forgot about that. That's going to be good fun with with Leo and Makosa, of course.
Without Alex.
Without Alex, of course. But the ladder, we'll go through the ladder. Collingwood still on top, 32 points, 8-2, and that healthy 129%. Brisbane, well, they lost. It's a very unconvincing, but second spot there for Brisbane, which we'll touch on later. They're still on the 30 points, 7-2, and the one draw, of course. Gold Coast, 28 points into third, 7-2. They're just so good. And Darwin, the Hawks still holding on to the top four, Leo. You're happy
just.
You got a really solid percentage as well. There's a few guys around that 120 to 130 mark. The Dogs, they got a huge percentage booster. 24 points, 6-4. They're flying. Top four chance for me, Alex, surely.
100%.
I said last week, guaranteed top 6. After that win, they may be top 4, certainly.
Top four, yeah. I think they're...
You are taking longer than Andrew Gaze to do this, by the way.
Sorry. Anyway, we'll go Kuwarna.
Rattle through it.
Kuwarna and the Cats are 24.6-4. We've got the Giants just in the 8 still. There's a few fraud watchers around this area. Then you've got Walyalup at 20 points, 5-5. Essendon still hanging on. They're in 10th, but they were horrible on the weekend. Just hanging on. Then we've got Carlton, Sydney, and Euro-Yroke actually on 16 points.
Yeah. All
All in that mark. They could probably have a little bit of belief for the finals, but it's going to be very tough. Then we've got Narrm and Yartapuulti, 14th and 15th, also on the 16 points. 4 and 6. How the hell did Melbourne win that? We'll touch on that. And Yartapuulti are just... They're in the mud. They're in the bottom four, which is under
That's
Ken.
nuts.
They've never finished lower than 11th under Ken. So
What?
this is a fun fact over there.
Really?
Yeah, that was stat. There we
I
go.
learned something.
Learned something from me. And then we got Richmond on 12 points. North Melbourne are catching them on 10 points. Why do we have to draw
The
to
bottom
Brisbane?
3 hasn't changed.
The bottom 3 hasn't changed. Wallitij, Marawar on 4 points as well.
First win of the season.
They finally got a win.
They did
They're
it.
on the board. It looks nicer on the ladder that they don't have a big duck egg there.
Yeah, it's kind of
Big
funny that
duck
it came up against Euro-Yroke, aka St Kilda. But anyway,
Yes.
let's get into it. Of course, round 10 starter Sir Doug Nicholls Round. So that this week and next week. Some great kits, by the way, and some great social edits by you boys rating the kits there.
Yes.
Let's get to Thursday night up at TIO Stadium, Gold Coast. All they do is win in Darwin. Cyril turned up, which was pretty cool. But Gold Coast 16-8-104 defeated Hawthorn 15-6-96. Now, I'm just going to start this off with a question, one, to the people watching and or listening at home and the boys in the couches. Have the Suns turned the corner in the last 2 weeks? Have they made believers out of, I'm a truther, but have they made believers out of you? Because Gold Coast in the past would have turned those 2 games up, I think. I think this is the new and improved Gold Coast Suns.
I do agree that they would have maybe fallen over last year, but I just feel like in Darwin, they're typically more clinical. Like I expected them to win those games by a bit more.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I think for
Salty
me,
Hawks fan? No. Just joking.
so I think
Who's
for
the
me,
most pessimistic Hawks
that is
fan
true.
we know.
Still want to see more.
I just want to see a little bit more, just a little bit, and that's
They
harsh.
beat
That's
Hawthorn
harsh.
and the Western Bulldogs, the two most informed
In
teams in
Darwin.
the comp.
In Darwin.
I think if this was in Gold Coast,
I think they would have lost both of those games.
Nah.
I think Gold Coast, I don't know if the Dogs would have won, but I think that the Hawks would have won. They brought an amazing game. So I'm still on the fence. I know I'm on the fence as well, just because I want to see them do it away from home still,
I
because
just
they
wanna
lost to
see-
Richmond at
I
home.
want to see a little bit, just a little
I
bit.
feel like we're being very harsh.
We are being
Really
very
are.
hard.
Where are they in the ladder? Like fourth?
Yeah,
Third.
third.
And two.
They're flying, but I just want to see them do it in the second half of the season, away from Darwin.
Agreed. It's a long season.
They are not going to miss finals.
No, I just think if they turn the corner in the sense of like, can they actually make a meaningful run? Like, are they
probably
making
not.
up the numbers in finals, or are they contenders?
They get a home final. It's all important. But anyway,
Yep.
we've got to talk about this game. So 8 straight wins now in Darwin for the Suns. Is it the biggest fixture gift that one can get? Obviously, we know about Collingwood playing every game at the MCG for the next 6 weeks. But having 2 games in back-to-back weeks up there in Darwin it's a bit of a free kick. But if I'm Gold Coast, I'm also saying, like, can we play like St Kilda and West Coast? Not Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs.
Well, they don't care because they won. Obviously, it was a tough game, but they've won the last 2. I think that is easily the hardest fixture in footy right now. Like,
I agree.
I would rather play the Pies at the G because they at least have a lot of close games there than the Suns up there. That is just it's a big
really
call,
tough
but
fixture.
yeah.
Just the conditions are just crazy, and they know how to play them so well.
Yep.
So, yeah, speaking of that, John Noble had a million
weapon.
possessions. The weapon, John Noble, 1,001 metres gained. I was like, that's not going to be betted all weekend. He held on to it for 2 days.
yeah, Bailey Day.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But yeah,
He was awesome.
He was very good.
Should you be able to raise a ball like in cricket?
Raise
if
a
you make 100, you
ball.
raise your bat. If you get a 5 you raise the ball.
Why don't
If
we
you
give
get
him
1,000
why don't we give him a cap with a colourful colour on it?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah, let's go. Yeah, full big bash on it. Let's just bronze his boot for the night.
give him bronze
Give him a
boots.
bronze boot. So we'll go through this. So Noah Anderson was simply brilliant. 35 possessions. He was clearly the best player on the ground for the night, I thought. Just everywhere all night. Did not stop running. Sam Collins, I feel like, is the glue that keeps them together because he plays that goalkeeper role. There was a couple of times just on the goal line, he's taking marks or punching
He's a
them
smart
through.
player with his positioning. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Hawthorn, like we thought coming into this game, this is the one they've it's a chalked up loss. We thought that, but they were there to win. Like the Wizard was very good, but kicked a couple of great goals. I still have a problem with him and Ginnivan that every time they get the footy, their first instinct is to try and win a free kick, not actually move the ball forward and get rolling.
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong, but I would actually argue Dylan Moore does it more.
I was going to say Dylan Moore. I'm on
Maybe
watch for
that's
Dylan
his
Moore
thing.
too.
And I feel like Ginnivan has slowly started to phase it out. Obviously, the one late was very bad.
So bad.
Very bad. I feel like that might have been like a desperate thing, like we need a goal here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try for it. But
He was
I
clinical.
do agree.
He was
100%.
clinical. He had 3 goals. 4. He had the tackles inside 50
The
as
Wizard,
well.
that is.
Yeah.
The Wizard. Sorry, the Wizard. 3 goals. At his best, when he's playing at his best, obviously he's on his second year.
Second year,
Yeah,
yeah.
second year.
Yeah.
When he's playing at his best, I love
He's going to be the
watching
best
him
small
play.
forward in the comp. Like, there's no doubt about that.
That's a big call.
That's his potential. That's his ceiling at the moment. Speaking of the best small forward in the comp, Ben Long. He is currently.
Is he small? He's like mid-size.
Okay,
He's playing as a small.
He's your
yeah.
all-Australian forward pocket right now.
He is.
Well, he is if they actually pick based on position.
Yeah,
But I'm
exactly.
excited
They'll
to
put
see
the
Bunton
ball
Valley
in
at forward pocket.
Honestly, just please pick wingers. Jed Walter had one of those almost games.
Yeah,
he was
he did.
getting to every contest, getting hands on the footy, but they just kept hitting the deck. And you saw late in the last quarter, he actually punched the ground at one point because you could tell that he was really pissed off with himself. So it's like, I could have had 10 or 12 marks here, kicked a couple of goals, took a hanger.
Yeah.
Like, the full package is there, and when it finally, like, when he all puts it together, it's like, this Gold Coast forward line is going to be scary good.
Yeah.
Because they've
100%.
kicked 16 goals. They've done it pretty easily in the end. This was a great game. Like Hawthorn, they've thrown everything at it. I thought Newcombe was really good all night too.
Really good.
He kept popping up.
Amon.
Yeah, a lot of run off half back. Massimo as well.
Well, you were calling it slingshot footy.
It was.
It was.
End-to-end.
It was so fun.
59 inside 50
It was so
each.
fun.
It was crazy. It's just back and forth all day.
Yep.
Finally, Sicily. He's got to be injured. He's
I-
got to be
I
injured.
think he is. I've heard rumours he's got an injured groin, but
Just give him a week
I
off.
don't know if they're true.
It doesn't help when you're a human stepladder as well. Both the hangers, you can get
Yeah,
James
yeah.
Sicily at Bunnings. I heard. I don't know why I'm pulling out jokes now, but Ben Long's
Joke guy
mark
over here.
and Jed Walter's mark
Yeah,
were both
both on him.
on the top of Sicily's
Same
shoulders.
spot too, I
I know.
think.
And
Yeah.
all he did was laugh, and I was like, I respect
That's all you can do.
Yeah, he
all
just
you can
got
do.
hangers taken on him.
Fan bases, Gold Coast Suns, like, this is awesome. Like, can we just be in Darwin forever, maybe?
The Darwin Suns. Come on.
The Darwin Crocs, that was your thing.
Darwin Crocs, yeah.
Hawthorn.
Need to beat Brisbane. That's where I'm at.
He's already worried about Brisbane, by the way, but I think
Because we have a tough couple of weeks.
I think that's a valiant effort by the Hawks. You had no
for sure,
Dunstan, you had a few other big outs.
No, man.
And
Oh, we didn't talk about, no Meeky.
No Impey.
Yeah. Poor Reeves at one point. I thought he died.
Reeves.
Poor Reevesy.
Oh.
He tries
Reeves,
hard.
he needs a bit more grunt, Reevesy.
he's a big man.
He's
He
a
nearly
bit
his,
soft.
He lost his hip at one point. Anyway,
Oh.
Friday night at the SCG, my beloved Swans won 11-12-78 to Carlton 9-8-62. Can we just talk about Isaac Heeney for 5 minutes, Leo?
Well, I think I tend to agree. He was insane. 38. Unfortunately, though, he kicked like my Uber rating.
Oh,
Two and a half. 2.5.
Mate, if you're under like 4,
That's
they don't
so
even
good.
pick you up. So
Yeah.
your Uber rating's good.
You got to stop getting Ubers with stats, guy.
Yeah, sorry, mate, yeah.
He keeps leaving his phone in the Uber.
I've actually done
Keeps asking, how's your night going, mate? Been busy?
Yeah.
Yes, mate. I'm an Uber driver. What do you expect?
But no, he was superb. He obviously left a few out there, but it was just sort of that game. Like Heeney obviously hasn't been at the form he has last season,
No,
but he
no.
just stepped up. He said, "Hey guys, I'm still here. I'm still the guy.
Yeah.
I'm He-Man."
Yeah.
And Chad Warner 30-2. Like you just can't argue. You have 30-2. Like
Yeah.
as a midfielder, that's fantastic. So they just sort of took the Swans on their back. Were absolutely incredible. And I just want to give a shout out to Dean Cox as well because we talked about it on Thursday. Like we were a bit worried with the Swans' backs. Could they handle the height of Curnow and McAllion? A couple of different stages they threatened. Could he put Hamling back to stifle that? He said, no, I'm putting Hamling on Wiedering. And he just shut him down. And it was a great coaching move. I don't know if it'll work every week, but it was definitely the right move to make on the night and it helped them win the game.
It was okay against Sam
Giants.
Taylor, against the Giants. I was there.
Taylor and Buckley.
And I didn't actually know live at the game that was the plan. I just thought they were beefing the whole game. And
Just beefing.
And Sam Taylor was more worried at times, like fighting.
Yeah.
And just he got in his head. And
Yeah.
Hamling's not the best, most skillful player ever. Like
No.
he got around at all. But he's doing the job. He's doing the job.
Speaking of beef, my boy Beef Sheldrick,
Oh, very good.
leading disposal getter at halftime. He ran out of a bit of gas, so we need more prime rib out of him. But
Overcooked it.
Yeah, he cooked himself.
He's
that's
gone on
for
a vegan
sure.
diet.
But he had a fair bunch of clearances. He had 16 touches at halftime, a lot of tackles in and under all night. He has to play every week.
Yeah,
he
I
showed
agree,
why he
100%.
needs to be in there because if he can do that, it allows Heeney and Warner, it frees them up a little bit because he's just a genuine midfielder. Heeney and Warner can spend a bit more time forward. You've got Mills that's about to come back as well. So he had 20 and a half in the twos last week. So
He's one of those guys that will build off a bit of confidence. Like even if he has a bad week, just keep playing him and he'll build and he'll get more consistent. I agree with that.
I love being proven right about Angus Sheldrick.
Yeah, he's good to watch in the guts there. But I think for the Swans, just a bit of a negative, the suspensions. Yeah, I think
The Amani
McInerney-
one was the stupidest one. There was
Yeah.
20 seconds to go.
Amani just like, Boyd got rid of the ball and then
took
like
his head
30 seconds went past and then he's like, oh, I'm just going to bump him. That was ridiculous. I thought it was
that was
more than
bad.
3 weeks, but obviously...
That is a
He got
joke, by the
three.
way. I know I'm a North fan, I'm being biased, but a lot of people out there
You gotta
know
get
that
over it.
Paul Curtis should have
Gotta
been
get
suspended for
over
3
it.
weeks. But how the hell is the MRL going, oh yeah, Paul Curtis accidentally tackling someone compared to the full-on force of trying to bump someone in the head?
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks.
Both players were concussed.
I know that.
I know.
The
End of
result,
story.
I know.
but like, what, if you punch someone in the head, is that the same as
Hey,
accidentally
Rory
tackling?
Lobb didn't get suspended for punching Mason Cox. He probably should have got a medal, to be
Yeah, it's
honest.
because, it's Mason Cox.
We also,
We're going to touch on the Blues a bit more. I
Yeah,
think.
we'll touch on
they
the Blues.
were shambolic.
Second half Blues, I think. They're back 6 goals to 3. A bit of a shout out though. I think Nick Haynes' improvement. We touched on it a little
That's
bit.
a
He's been
concern if
great,
he's
though.
improving so well. He's like
it's
35 years
No,
old.
but it's just improvement because everyone was like on his back at the start of the season.
Last couple
He had a
weeks.
poor game. Last couple of weeks, he's done really well to get back into it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think the question mark, there's a few, but a main one is their bottom 6 players, Carlton. They're not lifting for them. I feel like a lot of other sides have really good role players and Carlton don't have that. No, a lot of them are young, but this guy isn't. Jesse Motlop, I think he's a real concern.
How didn't he get suspended, by the way?
Oh, I must have missed
He
that.
pushed Brody Grundy, because remember how they had the big thing, if you push someone into a
Into the
dangerous
contest.
position.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Francis
saw that.
Yeah, so that's how Francis got
Yeah,
concussed.
okay.
Motlop has pushed Grundy in a marking contest, and big Brody Grundy's thigh has just gone straight into Francis's head.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just
Anyway.
missed that one. But I
Big
thought
media bias.
20 pressure acts for a small forward, probably not ideal. 7 touches. He just wasn't. wasn't
Their
up
bottom
for it.
six is bad.
Yeah,
We've said
the
that. Well, their
six is
bottom
bad.
10's bad. That's the biggest thing. Before we move on, Peter Laddams' attempted scissor kick could have been the greatest goal in the history of
The
sport.
greatest point of all
He
time.
could have grabbed it, that big man.
I love the Essay.
He's like 6'5". Just grab it up here, mate. You didn't have to go to the scissor. I wanted to give it just a quick shout out to Adam Chur as well. I thought he was really solid. He got a lot of the ball, got a lot of clearances.
Yeah.
He wasn't as impactful as a lot of the Sydney players, but I thought he was solid.
No TDK
Yeah.
was the big issue
And-
for Carlton too,
Yeah,
which we didn't
that did
touch on. But anyway, fan bases. He's an A grader. I've
Oh,
got the
you're
shirt
wearing
on.
the Heeney
Isaac
top.
Heaney is an A grader. Check out the True Bloods merch store. They have a merch drop this Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
love
you
it.
go.
Carlton fans are like,
Hello, darkness, my old
game
friend.
ended at halftime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, this the second half. They need to improve.
We haven't mentioned it, but we will quickly as we do need to move on. Social gal Spence did the Guard of Honor. The Guard of Honor curse is real.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you did the Guard of Honor, yeah.
Against Essendon, we lost. Spence does it for Carlton against the Swans. Carlton lose. Never do a Guard of Honor if you're associated with AFL Today.
if I get asked, I'm saying no.
I'm saying no. We're going to lose anyway, Mike.
Do you want to walk out with John Newcomb? Nah.
do you want to spend all night with Will Day in a box? Nah.
Yes. No,
Do you want to go out,
After the Guard of Honor? After the Guard.
having a good night with the lads? Nah.
nah, you definitely don't like a good night with the lads. Saturday, MCG, Collingwood, 11-12-78. Once again defeated Kuwarna, Adelaide Crows, 10-8-68. Stats man.
All right, I've got to bring the stats on this one. The Pies, they've won the last 11 times. That makes it over the Crows. That's an unbelievable effort. Like, the Crows going into this matchup, they've had 5 meetings, this including this one. This one was only 10 points. There's 5 meetings in a row where it's been under 10 points. 4 of them have been 5 points or under.
That's crazy.
And you look at that going, Pies have just dominated the last 11 times. They could have won a lot of these games.
They should have won the last 4, Adelaide.
I don't know about the one on the weekend. I think they were really
should have
solid, Collingwood, but they've just got so close and just Collingwood, they keep getting away with it,
They're
Leo.
fantastic game managers.
They're amazing
They
at
are
game management.
fantastic
They're
game
perfect
managers.
at the switch. Like Darcy Cameron is always getting back and just helping out. I think he's one of the
Players in the right spot at the
Yeah.
right time at every second of the game.
I think Darcy Cameron, just to shout at him, is one of the most underrated ruckmen in the competition.
No,
And
he's not. He's everyone knows how good he is. He's
No,
properly
but at the
rated.
start of the season, there was all these pundits going, Lloyd Meek's one of the best ruckmen. Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron is better than Lloyd Meek.
Yeah, he is, but-
but a lot of people weren't saying that at the start.
Just
of the
give Lloyd Meek some flowers, mate.
I did. I'm just
Name's
saying Darcy
Lloyd.
Cameron's better than him.
He's already set back.
Lloyd
He's
Meek.
he's a meek man.
Another stat for you guys is it was a record home and away crowd, just under 68,000 at the MCG.
It was cold.
Between these two sides, which is an Adelaide record, sorry.
Yeah.
Home and away record for a crowd. So 68,000, that's a really good effort in the wet as well. And Melbourne's been dreadful, but the crowds over the weekend have actually been really solid.
It's almost like having good football games on is a good thing.
True. One guy that we don't often talk about on this show, Billy F. Frampton, as the locals like to call him. He kept Phil Thorpe, the guy that's supposed to be one of the best goal kickers in the competition, goalless. He kept him goalless. I know it was a bit wet. Fogarty stepped up with 4 goals.
God,
But
he's good.
The Thriller just couldn't get it done on Billy Frampton.
Thriller
can't
was
believe
getting up
that.
the ground a lot though.
He was. I just couldn't believe that.
We'll give Frampton his flowers.
I think that
very good.
That's a good
Frampton.
effort by Frampton. Obviously, Premiership player doesn't.
Premiership player Billy F. and Frampton.
Yeah, Billy F. Frampton.
great.
But yeah, Fogarty, as I just mentioned, 4 goals, second on the Coleman now. Which
I
feel like
took Dunstan.
has he? Oh yeah, he did. But Gunston was out.
Just had a week off.
Yeah, Gunston had a week off. I think that forward line, Tex obviously got subbed out, didn't have to do as much tactical and things like that. But that forward line is just so fun. Like when you have Thriller going goalless, but Fogarty stepping up, although they lost, all right, at least our forward line's still good.
It's the lowest score of the year, I think, Adelaide.
Yeah, it was in the wet and it was tough conditions, so I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
I thought Side Bottom was really classy in this one. He had 22 and a goal. The Crows, I think you talked about this one, Alex. They really struggled to hit the scoreboard in the third quarter. So they had all the play, and this is what happened when they played the last 3 times they've played the Pies at the G. They just couldn't hit the scoreboard when it really mattered. They'd have all the inside 50s and they struggled, and that third quarter really cost them.
Yeah, but I thought they got stitched up a little bit again by the umpires too, and it's not going to be as controversial because there wasn't things that happened in the last 15 seconds. Like
They
there was
robbed
previously.
right in front of me.
Well, they were like there was a free kick that got paid against Isaac Rankin. He didn't have the ball when he got tackled.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
He didn't have the ball, so I don't know how it's holding the ball when he's not in possession of the footy. Billy Frampton, dead set, smashed one over the line. It was completely deliberate, no pressure on him. Should have been deliberate, not paid. There was a free kick to Will Hoskin-Elliott at the start of the last quarter at the top of the goal square, which should have been a high tackle, clipped the Adelaide bloke in the head. Maynard just had a deliberate out of bounds at one point with no one around him. called against Hawthorn, would have been called against Hawthorn and Gold Coast on Thursday night.
right.
There was a lot of calls there.
Yeah, not called on that. Like, I thought there was probably 5 or 6 free kicks that Adelaide didn't get. The decisions or non-decisions all went Collingwood's way. And when it's a 10-point result, those things do add up. I'm not saying that the umpires cost them. They should have been well in front in the third quarter.
Yeah,
but
the third quarter cost them.
umpiring didn't help. Like that throw that got given, the umpire couldn't see. He guessed it was a throw. And on the replay, it's like, no, Malira's handballed that cleanly. Like, it's just...
There was that,
there's 4 umpires. Why isn't one of them on the other side?
I am a bit frustrated with the umpire positioning. I'll give you that one. I don't think that was the difference because I think Crows actually kicked too late and sort of got himself in the game. It was 20 points and everyone's like, this game's over. And I think Collingwood were the better side and they just played a little bit better in the wet. But you're right. When there's 4 umpires, I think they need to do a little bit better. Just the Pies winning with another key out, Darcy Moore. I know that he hasn't been amazing, but I think that's a big out against this forward line. You get Frampton stepping up. I thought Jeremy Howe stepped up. I thought Maynard
They're just
stepped
a good
up.
footy side.
Great footy side, and they just got depth everywhere. So Pies fans will be absolutely
They'd be buzzing.
laughing. They're first. This is a
Collingwood
really tough
chance
matchup.
all round.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great
Fan
win.
base are like, this is great. We're going to win the flag again. And Adelaide are like, God damn it, I'm sick of this team. So much.
They didn't even play that bad. It was tough conditions, and they just need to find a way to win against the big teams.
They're a game out of the 4 still, so I think they'll be all
But
right.
it's just like, God damn it, I hate Collingwood so much. That's
They've done it again.
They've done it again.
Let's get across to the Adelaide Oval. Yartapuulti, Port Adelaide, 5-9-39. Oh boy. Belted by Geelong, 17-13, 1-1-5. Big call for this guy right here.
Oh, yeah.
Geelong 40
Put
plus.
that on hold, all tickets, the self-trumpet.
Mate, it's all right. I'm going on holiday. I don't care.
So you can check out Hold On Tickets.
Check it out.
Everyone did their hamstring.
Yeah, that was, I reckon, one of the biggest talking points out of this one. The 4 injuries to hammies. So, obviously, Horn Francis, Lockie Jones, Danger, and Jack Bowes all doing their hammies.
Did you hear Jezza after the game? Like, oh, what do you think about Danger? He's like, he's pretty old, so he was probably due for it. He'll be fine.
That's so.
It's like
He's not wrong,
but it's
though.
like the most Jezza comment. It's like, yeah, he's probably due for one. He's a bit old now.
Yeah.
He did one in round 10 last year.
Yeah.
He
so
100% calls like calves, baby cows. Like
Yeah.
if you do a calf, you did a baby cow.
Yeah, his baby cows haven't been feeling too good.
And Sin as well got injured. I think that was a hip. But I think it's sort of interesting to see what either side does now with those injuries. So Hornet injured, I think really
It's tough on
rattles Port Adelaide because it's sort of him, Rosie, and Butters is the holy trinity.
Yes.
Who can step up for him? And no one did in the game.
Willem?
Who-
He hasn't been very good this year. But
He's more a role player. Like, who's going to be the one that stamps their authority
Chuck
on the
Jace
game?
Burgoyne in there.
He could.
I like Jace Burgoyne.
I do like
Silky.
Jace Burgoyne.
But he's a bit up and
But
down at the moment. Yeah.
Can he be relied upon to play as a pure midfielder?
Nah, probably not. He's a winger
So-
at best.
That's a huge worry
Oh, they're
for
cooked.
Port Adelaide.
The power are cooked.
Now they're bottom 4, so with Hornet injured, that just adds a little salt to the wound.
They had a good kit.
They
I
did have
really
a good
love their
kit.
kit
I really
on the-
I
love
like
the black
Geelong's with the pale blue involved as well.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red throughout. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
nice.
good.
That was very
And then Danger as well. I think it's how do I word this? It's not as big of an impact to the Cats as Hornet is to Port.
It's not that far off.
But the Cats have players that can step up. So Danger
Yeah.
goes out. Oh, you might see Ollie Henry pop up more. You might see Ollie Dempsey, who's playing a great season,
Yep.
step up even more. Brian Myers and his kicking, you love him. He step up.
Oh,
more.
he was
so there's
unbelievable on the
players
weekend.
that can help out.
I was about to say, how tasty is this Geelong Dogs game on Thursday?
Oh,
Very tasty.
I'm so excited to preview that.
Where am I going to
Yes.
be?
Yeah, where are you going to be?
Have I
playing.
landed? I'm trying to figure out if I've landed.
Sometimes
by
they
then.
show the footy on the plane. I watched the footy.
Yeah,
on the
you know,
plane.
there's the live TV channel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just go for it.
I think I would have landed. So it'll be like mid morning on Thursday morning. Oh yeah, hell yeah!
go for it.
I'll be at a taverna in Athens. If anyone knows a taverna in Athens, I can watch the
He's
footy.
in Europe, but he's already thinking about the footy.
Mate,
Live your life, mate.
I've got to be watching the Swans at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. It's going to be great. I'll be in Crete. It's going to be a good time.
This is just.
And I think another big talking point in this one was Jeremy Cameron with 7 goals.
Oh,
5
of
in the
them were
last
junk.
quarter. 5 in the last
But he
quarter.
had to
Junk time, Jezza.
He kicked like a snap from 40, like one from the boundary.
It's the game to get him going. I know he kicked 4 a couple of weeks ago against, I think, Carlton.
He hasn't
But
been amazing.
No.
this is the one that really, I reckon, like kicks him into gear this season. I personally think Hort. Oh, God.
You all right?
No, that's nightmare stuff. I just merged Hawthorn and Port Adelaide.
Oh, no.
Port Adelaide have a problem with stopping big key forwards. I think
Port
last
Adelaide have a
week-
problem in general that they're terrible.
They do, but last week the big keys for Adelaide got on top of them. This week, obviously, Jezza got 7 goals.
So it's almost like having Brendan Zerk-Thatcher and Asava as your 2 key defenders as
got
a,
a
list,
Leo.
as a list build isn't a great idea.
A guy that got injured that I think he actually played really well until he got injured was Lockie Jones.
He did?
He was locking down Jeremy Cameron.
Lockie was locking, was he?
Lockie was locking down
He obviously
Jeremy
meant
Cameron.
that.
Yeah, I meant that.
He totally meant that.
But he genuinely just was bodying him. He
yeah.
surprisingly kept up with his speed because Lockie Jones is a big guy. And if he was playing, I wouldn't be as worried about Port's backline because I was very happy with his game. But now that he's injured...
Maybe it's just one to watch over the next few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. But I am worried about Port as a whole because bottom 4
I think Port fans are too.
Oh, yeah.
The fan bases.
Yeah, we can get to the fan bases.
They are very worried. They're sitting bottom 4. It's pretty grim.
They've got Freo in Perth next week.
Yeah, I think that's a loss.
And Cats fans?
And so they're talking about the big key forwards. We've got Tracy.
Yeah.
I reckon he's going to have a big day out now.
The Cats fans are just like, we love playing Port Adelaide and Adelaide.
They love playing in Adelaide. They've won the last 5 there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cats fans, they need a bit... I think they deserve a bit more consistency. They've been still a bit up and down.
Imagine wanting Geelong to be more consistent as a fan.
This season. They don't make the finals every year. Don't clip that up. Anyone on TikTok?
They have been win-loss this season.
Well, that's consistent.
Well, they're going to lose on Thursday to the Dogs because remember the Dogs went down there last year for the mud game and beat them.
Last year?
The mud game. Remember the Dogs kept going win-loss, and they went beat Geelong in Geelong, beat Sydney in Sydney, and then something else. We're like, the Dogs good. Now they got smashed in the finals. Anyway, Saturday, NG GWS were anything but energetic. 8-13-61, beaten by Walyalup, the Freo Dockers, 13-17-95. I had to check that again, make sure it wasn't a typo. This was on the small screen at the pub, so I only saw bits and pieces, but anytime I saw it, Shai Bolton had the footy.
Oh, Shai, well, I'm happy to touch on him first. He was unbelievable, Shai Bolton. 24 disposals, 12 contested, which I love to see that from him. I think his career high is 18, but I don't think he's got anywhere near that since he's been at Freo. Putting him in the middle a bit, and he's getting contested touches, getting the hands out, rather than just being that outside guy, the guy that doesn't want to get it down and dirty a little bit. He was really good with the 12 contested, and he had the 3 goals as well. Combining him, Shai Bolton, and the awesome. I love Michael Frederick when he's firing.
It's a bit inconsistent.
That's the problem. Frederick won't play a good game for a month now.
Oh, he was unbelievable. The 3 goals as well. Him and Bolton combining for 6 is just exactly what the doctor ordered for Freo. They were really good. I think this is one of the craziest results of the week, and we'll touch on another one later. But the fact, GWS, I think you can touch on this, Alex. They haven't had the best month. They obviously got a crazy win in Geelong. I think that's a massive outlier. They just somehow win there. And they've been really disappointing. Freo, we said, were really disappointing. They absolutely smashed them. They could have won by way more. They kicked 13-17, as Alex just said. So is this more of a surprise on the Dockers' end because GWS have actually been bad? Or what do you think, Alex?
It's more surprising that Freo have actually turned up and done this after what Freo have sort of done for the last month. But it also proves what I've been on this all year and everyone was like, you're an idiot. I don't think the Giants are much good.
Yep.
I think that they've hit their peak. There's a couple of injuries here and there to a few players that doesn't help them. I think they're on the way down. And it just depends if players like Aaron Cadman, if Connor Iden when he plays, if Riccardi, if those players who are young that can step up, like a kid with the lid, Jones and Harvey Thomas.
With the lid, I like that.
Harvey Thomas as well. Like it's if they could step up because all those players are a year older. They've last 2 years were their chances to win flags. And like their losses so far this year, when you look and they're like, oh, you're not great.
Like just say they lost this in a close game. Everyone goes, all right, we rated Freo, but Giants are still in with a chance. Like we did rate Freo at the start of the season.
But after what Freo had been doing for the last month, to then go to GWS's first game since they played West Coast here.
They finally played at home.
And they got smashed.
Yeah, it's not good. One positive for the Giants, I thought Callahan, until he got hurt his shoulder, which was a really annoying injury, I thought he was really strong. He was probably one of the 2, I'm trying to think of the other one that had 8 tackles, but only a few of their players actually were two-way running. So you'd go, all the Giants players have floated forward. Shai Bolton and Frederick could just use their pace on the back. But Callahan was running 2 ways. He had 24 disposals, 8 tackles, which is perfect. The Rolls Royce in there. But
Callum Mills is the Rolls Royce.
I'm just talking about 4 GWS. Yeah. But the likes of Toby Green, I hate him as my big call. He says, stuff your big call. I'm not going to make a comeback this season. He has been woeful. Every time I've talked about Toby Green, like he's got to fire at some point. He's gotten worse, so maybe I should stop talking about Toby Green.
He was good against St Kilda at Norwood.
He was good against St Kilda. I didn't talk about him that week. And then Jesse Hogan, obviously having a great year.
Killing me, Jesse.
We tipped him to kick a few goals. I think Alex did as well, but he couldn't really get involved. Another one, so just some of those big names, they need less reliance on them, but also they need to just step up and kick a couple more goals. They just need to be good. They just need to be better. They need to be better. I thought someone that was finally better, I've called him out on this show being very harsh, Caleb Sarong. I think this is probably his second game of the season where he was better than Brayshaw, which I think he should be better than Brayshaw most weeks as the skipper.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
He's better than Brayshaw.
I think overall he's a better player, but he hasn't been playing better than Brayshaw.
Yeah, Brayshaw's winning their best and fairest. So GWS said scans have confirmed a minor shoulder dislocation for Finn Callaghan. A return to play timeline will be confirmed tomorrow on Monday, following consultation with the club's medical team. At this stage, not deemed to be long term. So that's good news for them because they need him.
They desperately need him.
Fan bases.
Freo will be really happy. The ones that I wanted to say was they won the setting clearances, which they've been a bit on and off with that. So they were really good in the middle. And I think, again, the outlier game was the game against, for GWS, was against Geelong.
That didn't answer the fan bases question.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there. The fan bases, Freo will be...
They're like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, they'll be frustrated. They'll be frustrated because they should be getting this week in, week out.
They're a bad ex for you.
Yeah. A what? Oh, bad ex.
They're a bad ex.
Yeah, and GWS are just like, ooh, yeah, we are the little brother in Sydney.
Oh, bang. That's the Sydney supporter.
You did beat them.
Yeah, you did beat them, so you can say that.
5 times in a row, thank you. 6 if you include the women. Saturday night, Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs, 18-19, 137. Is that Bailey Dale's stat line?
Yes.
Essendon, 5-6-36. My notes are wholly expletive. Essendon are not good.
Yes.
It's a good note. It's a fair note.
I love it. Dogs are elite, though.
Where do we want to start with this? Do we want to start with the Dogs or do we want to start with the Bombers?
Start with the positives. Start with the Dogs.
Yeah, the
Start
Dogs.
with the
We'll
Dogs.
start with the Dogs.
They were great, Leo.
They were fantastic. What?
They were just great. I just wanted to
Why
just
was
say
that
you
funny?
up.
I was going to say they were fantastic. Daily Bale.
Daily Bailey.
The Daily Mail.
Daily Dale, yeah.
He was superb. Nearly brought up the half century, though.
Yeah, actually, there we go. Can you raise a ball for that?
Oh, you are a nerd.
Oh, you love cricket. Come on. Give me
No,
something.
I did bring it. Yeah, maybe when they were like walking off, they could have got him to raise the ball.
49 touches.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
49.
That's insane. 49 touches in a game of footy is simply nuts.
30 handball receives, a lot of 1-2s.
Only 3 contested possessions.
It's not his
You've had
fault.
49 possessions. You've only had 2 tackles.
77% efficiency.
That's pretty. That's
Very
elite.
That's very good. And it's the most disposals in a game by a Bulldog ever because the previous was Griffin and McRae with 47.
Ryan Griffin.
There you go.
There you go.
So you look through the stats. It's a simple flogging across everywhere. The Dogs scored 12 goals from turnovers alone. They just killed Essendon in transition, but that's been an Essendon problem for years. They just can't defend transition when teams run through them. It was the highest. Most amount of goals that the Western Bulldogs had scored against Essendon since 2006 with 7 goals, 3. To Essendon, like we can talk, like Riley West kicks 4 goals. One of his best
Should have
games
5.
ever.
You missed a sit
The
up.
fend off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and then
love that.
he gave it too small. Like
Yeah.
he is a little bit too cocky, but that was
He
a
is.
great
That's
celebration.
great. I
He gave
love
it
that.
too small. I loved it.
If you're doing that, I think you're allowed to do that.
And he kicked
Sally.
4 goals.
Yeah,
so.
you can do that. You go to Essendon. So at halftime with the 1 goal kicked, it meant across their last 4 quarters, so a full game of footy, the second half against the Swans, they'd kicked 3 goals in a half.
Yeah, that's not good.
We've learnt the Bombers are simply pretenders. Like them being in the 8 last week was an outlier. They got lucky against West Coast on Anzac Day. They got lucky against North Melbourne. They got lucky against the
The
Swans.
3 games, like you flip a coin, they all lose.
One kick goes a different way in all of them, and they lose all 3 of those games. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is where Essendon are. Because we saw flashes of brilliance last week against the Swans. We saw none of that. They were just not up for it straight away. You also had a look at, like, the first few goals were from, like, just shrug off tackles. Like, they broke
they
tackles.
missed so many tackles.
They were soft.
Yeah.
When Zach Merritt doesn't get rolling, they're in trouble.
And the Dogs don't even tag. Like, that's the thing. Like, Merritt could have had a big game, but
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be like, they were all bad. So I'm not going to say Merritt should have lifted, but
But it
It
just
was
shows when he doesn't go, no one else
yeah,
can.
it's just one of those ones, isn't it? Where like every time a ball was there to be won, the Dogs were not only first to it, but they were also just like, you're not tackling us.
61 inside 50s to 37.
That sounds like Freo Collingwood last
Yeah,
week.
I know.
It's
The
a
one thing I'll
pattern.
say about Zach Merritt, there was a few times he rested forward and it didn't go down there. So like in the past, he
Yeah.
would have a bit of impact forward.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get that chance. He wasn't good, but I'm not going to put it on him because I think the poor disposal efficiency and things like that was the difference.
woeful.
Yeah, whereas the Dogs were just kicking around the corner, like Matt Kennedy and Richards were just taking one-handers, kicking around the corner. They were just awesome.
Ed Richards, Kennedy, and Libba combined for 92 disposals and 4 goals.
I love Libba.
92 and 4.
Libba he has to be an All-Australian.
Yeah.
He's in contention for
He
sure.
has to be.
Nah, he has to
Fan base of the Dogs like, we're going to win the flag.
They are
look so
second
good.
favourites right now.
Oh,
for me,
I was about to say
100%.
they should be second favourites.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Essendon are like, oh, thank God that was hidden
I
away.
think a
on
lot of
cold
Essendon
Saturday night.
fans are like, we kind of expected to like lose comfortably, but not by that
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of thought it was coming.
Yep.
This is the best home and away performance by the Dogs in my lifetime. Like,
What about when they
kicked
kicked 21 in a row
No,
against Essendon?
sorry, this season.
Oh,
like,
this season.
For the season, this is the best home and away they've been, I think.
What are you talking about?
Throughout, I'm not including finals, because obviously 2016 finals, they were unbelievable.
Are you saying this is the best that they've played under Bevo to start
But
a
you
season?
said this season.
No, I think in my
I'm
lifetime.
confused,
Sorry.
bro. In your lifetime, but this season.
This is the best I've seen the Bulldogs play in my lifetime.
Okay.
Like, over a season.
Okay.
Can I say that?
You got
Yes,
there.
I agree.
Sorry.
How
I
many
agree.
beers did you have at the
I
footy?
agree. I agree.
No, I only had one. Thank you very much.
I agree
Mate,
with you.
two's usually enough for you.
I agree with you.
All right, let's get to the MCG. Richmond 11-8-74. Stats guys going to need to recover, get ready to go again and launch. As North Melbourne,
Yes.
North Melbourne 12-6-78. North Melbourne won next game. at the Gabba.
No, let's talk about it. We never
How
win.
good. First win at the MCG since 2017. Well done, stats guy.
It was their 10th game at the MCG in that time.
I know, you
The
got-
Swans have played more games at the MCG in that period.
You've got the likes of Simpkin, LDU, Zerha, and
Haven't had a
about five
win.
others that have never won at the MCG, which is pretty
And
wild.
you won a first quarter.
Yeah!
That was my lock, that you wouldn't win the first quarter.
That's
but
the only
you
quarter we won.
the first quarter. Well, we don't speak
tried
about
to throw it away,
Don't
though.
speak about the second quarter.
Don't
That
think
was-
about
that was
the
very
second
good.
quarter.
No, but this game, it wasn't like appealing.
It was a contest.
But it was really like
Intense.
physical. Like 92 tackles each. That's a very high tackle count. A lot of like just bodies flying everywhere. Like the ball movement wasn't great.
No.
North plus 21 clearances.
Wait,
Now that,
plus 21.
yeah, plus 21. So that's their bread and butter.
Yep.
But the other stuff probably isn't.
No.
They're still working on the other stuff.
Getting
This is
out to a
actually
4-goal lead and then nearly throwing it away. That's not
You
great.
can bag North today, and I don't care. Like, you could say that we weren't good.
They
I
should
don't
fold.
care. We won.
Yeah,
Nah.
so don't care. Dubs. Just dubs. All we're doing to these ones.
All they do is win on today. Stats guy, who was North's best player?
Well, we argued about this pre-show.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it was Colby McKercher. I think
Okay.
that's one of his best games.
It was
in
Zerha.
Oh, there we go.
no.
Zerha is in the top. My
He
top
kicked
three.
4 of your 12 goals.
So one thing like you never see from a North player in the last 8 years is two-way running. Colby McKercher, when you put him in the midfield, he had 10 tackles, 22 touches, a goal. I think
Yeah,
he
that's
was,
right. LDU gets paid 1.3
and he
to run
doesn't tackle.
one way.
So the fact that McKercher just showed a bit of our future and a guy that could get tackles.
You mean
as
he
well.
showed Tasmania what their future is?
No, just let me.
No.
We won.
He's getting rattled. He's getting rattled.
Our best player will not be going to Tasmania, but he was my best.
Oh,
player.
Harry
See,
Sheasel.
I just felt like I didn't really notice McKercher.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
know.
either.
Oh,
I
well,
thought
I'm
Big
telling you, I
Jerry
did.
in the ruck. 19 touches, 11 clearances. I think he had a great battle with Nank. Like,
I thought
Nank
Nank
was
was
really
great
good.
too, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
thought there's a couple times I just sort of noticed Jerry just being like, as the ball went up, this is my clearance. I'm taking
Yeah,
this ball.
especially in
I'm
the second
getting it
half.
forward.
Yeah.
So I thought he was really good, in that second half as well. For the Tigers, though, I think that, like, if you're a Richmond fan, today was kind of a win-win. You either
You had a free
you
hit.
either get another win or you just have fun. Like, I don't know. like-
No, they want to beat us.
I know they wanted to win. Sammy Lawler, 16-2 was
Oh
really
my
good.
God, he's
His
good.
mark was great.
And I think everything he did was efficient. That's
Yeah.
what I noticed. Like
He was
he's
like
16
bursting through stoppages.
he
he
was-
looked really, really strong. And we've talked about him a lot this season. But Seth Campbell, 15-3, he missed a sitter. Should have been 4.
I know.
But he's just a little zippy pocket rocket. Gets in
He's
the
so
right
fast.
places. Great agility. Like normally a good user. Apart from that,
Richmond will
that
win
kick.
6 games by the end of the year, by the way.
6 games.
Yeah, they're
I
on
don't mind
3
that.
now. They'll get to 6.
They're not beating St Kilda though. We'll touch on that. And just lastly on Richmond, I thought Taranto was really good, but he did miss a shot late. Like I think it would have
Yeah,
put
that was
them.
costly.
I think it would have put them in the lead actually,
in front.
with about maybe 4 minutes.
Oh,
Pink got a late
I
mark.
was ready to come off the long run if you lost that
Yeah.
game.
Fair enough.
So was I.
Yeah.
So was I. Like we should.
Oh, I kind of, mate. We would have had like 10 minutes on this.
Oh,
game.
no, yeah, we would have taken a minute off every other game and given
I
us
know.
this
What?
and talked about how in 6 months Richmond have learned how to win more
I
than
think
North
they
have
still
in
have.
6
Look at
years.
the ladder.
Yeah, no, but what I
Not
mean
yet,
is,
not
like,
yet.
North had been in positions the last 3
Yeah,
weeks to
yeah.
win games, and if they've lost this Richmond team who has been given a sniff 3 times and won all 3 games, unlike North who've been given a sniff multiple weeks and can't get it done.
Yeah.
But you did today, Stats
We won.
guy.
I'm not listening to any of this. We bloody won.
So
man.
how's
How
the
you
fan
feeling?
base?
Oh, we're up and about. I was,
Are you going out?
Oh, yeah, I'll be heading out.
Catch
Why
him
not?
at Carlton Club.
You know who I want to head out with? Toby Pink. Well, he's a
Why?
legend. He took an awesome mark at the end of the game to
Jeez,
save us.
Tom Lynch deserves an Oscar nomination for his performance there too.
Oh, that
Toby, out of all the players, you picked Toby bloody Pink.
I just think it'd be a good night
Sydney
out.
Swans legend Toby Pink.
I'm
Sydney
taking the piss,
Swans
mate. But
legend.
very happy, and I'm just glad we finally won. I thought we were going to lose that at the end, but
Yeah,
we
I
didn't.
and Richmond are like, we're still not last, don't care.
Richmond fans will still be, and I thought it was a great crowd, 50,000.
That was a really good
16th
crowd,
versus
yeah.
17th, and
Yeah.
North fans even showed up. I think because both teams thought they could win, but good crowd.
Yeah, great crowd.
Yeah. Gabba, Brisbane, 13-10-88, defeated by Narrm, the Dees, 14-15-99. Up until obviously this game started, the Freo GWS result was the like, oh, what's that? This is the oh, what's that result? Like the Sunday games were very good, but we've said this for weeks. Brisbane are just going, eh.
Yeah, we actually sort of called this the last couple of weeks on our show. Not we didn't call the loss, but we've literally been saying the Lions just haven't really got out of that first gear.
And they're winning, so who cares?
And they're winning. They're like, oh, we're drawing to North. Like we thought that was the outlier. This is even more of an outlier because they didn't even get a draw. They lost to Melbourne at the Gabba. They never lose at the Gabba.
Dees just ran over them. Like it was amazing to see them. I didn't think the Dees had that in them, to be honest. But halfway through the third quarter, we were all in here. I'm like, the Dees are right in this. Like they're a red hot cracker winning it, and you've come out like, oh wow, they've won it. They should have won probably by 4 or 5 goals. They butchered some chances, but. Think about sort of how their last couple of years have been. Is this their best win since the King's birthday, 2023?
It could be
against the Pies.
Yeah.
I probably agree with that because they've struggled the last couple of years since all the incidents and things like that.
It's definitely up there. And I think another thing to note is they've been terrible in last quarters this season.
Exactly.
So the fact that, like, obviously Hawthorn last week, they kind of capitulated. The fact that they're at the Gabba, they're down by 15 points, and they've gone, we're just going to go for this. And they did it. Well done, Dees.
Yeah,
like they dominated the centre clearances all day. Like Gornicus was humongous in there. Took a couple of crucial marks late when they were bombing it down the line, but 18 to 11 centre clearances. But I think they won the first 4 of the game as well.
Big O was a big laid out.
It really hurt. Jake Melksham popped up, had another great game. He is a ridiculously good footballer that's underappreciated.
Yeah, he's a bit older now, but he's actually had a pretty solid career, Jake Melksham.
He's nifty.
He also was pretty bit dirty to Harris Andrews. He was
dirty, the word.
I'm not dirty. He was cleaning him. He had the water bottle right into Harris Andrews' ear, and Harris Andrews was just like, hey, mate, he was ready to hit him.
Harris Andrews has been rattled this year.
Yeah.
Is that a forfeit we could do, just squirting the water bottle?
Well,
in your ear?
That's weird.
I feel like, first of all, that is weird, and second of all, we're going to get some hearing loss with a bit of water.
That's the forfeit.
hearing loss.
Hearing loss.
That's very harsh. I'd rather do the wings again.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so the new look D's forward line works. We talked about Bailey Fritsch. He was the sub, kicked a couple of goals, came on and looked lively. No Van Rooyen, who got dropped. It's like, okay, there's things that leave us the good ones pulling that are looking like they're working. Chucky Cameron, though, our mate Chuck.
Oh, I'm sad because I think he's one of the most fun players to watch in the competition, and he's doing nothing.
He's so horrendously out of form, but it's sort of sliding under the radar because Brisbane had been winning. And again, he's in Brisbane. And you can sort of just get away with it up there, but he's hardly had a kick this season.
Yeah, I think, well, he hardly had a pre-season.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe he needed to have like a training block before coming back in, but...
Yeah.
It's Chucky Cameron.
Like Darcy Gardner, Darcy Gardner kicks 4. Like,
I can't believe that.
Darcy Gardner kicks 4.
how many touches did Eric get? Someone look that up.
Yeah,
for
I'll
me.
have a look.
Eric the Eel.
Yeah, Eric dead set felt like he was nowhere near it. And Kitty Coleman, first game back, he was good.
I love Kitty.
He's going
He's a beast.
to offer a lot.
He's probably, when he's up and going, one of my favorite non-Hawks players to watch.
Yeah,
He's just so silky and smooth.
yeah,
Absolutely.
It was that. And stats guy, while you look up the stats, you do have a stat to tell us though.
I do. Yes, I do.
I do.
Of course I do.
Hold on.
You got to marry him?
No, we're good.
I do.
Only 4 teams have actually defeated Brisbane at the Gabba when trailing at 3/4 time in the Chris Fagan era. So Melbourne were trailing at 3/4 time. You usually pencil that in. Chris Fagan goes, we've already won. We always win at 3/4 time at the Gabba. And Melbourne, as you said, have been horrible in the last quarter, and it just flipped that. And
Who are the other 3 teams?
I don't know that. Well, actually, I think it was. No, I'm not going to make it up.
Collingwood would have been one
probably.
for sure.
I feel like it was the Saints.
Carlton?
Possibly.
Yeah, it would have been
Opening
Carlton.
round?
Yeah,
Carlton.
Opening round. Yeah, so we've got 2 of them. Good
yeah,
job.
there's some wisdom
Hit us up
there.
in the comments if you know what the other team is. Eric, by the way, stats guy.
Yes, I'm trying to
Eric
find him.
the
9
Eel.
disposals,
And
which
a goal.
isn't horrible, but he didn't have impact. I
It's
agree
not
with that.
great.
He's Australian. I was talking to a Lions fan yesterday, so this is going into how the fan bases are feeling.
Yep.
not convinced about their forward line without Joe.
Yeah, that's been like the real like missing piece, hasn't it? Like Sam Day obviously isn't going to be.
Oh, he's not going to get picked. He got dropped.
Logan,
Logan Morris is good.
Logan Morris is good, but he's not like the number one. He's like a 2 or a 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I think give him a few years, and I think you got Logan Morris there. But yeah.
And Narrm are just like, can we do that again?
Yeah. Where did this come from? Like
big game next week against the Swans. Big game.
Where is that one?
G.
Which one?
Here.
Yeah.
The MC.
That's gonna be good one.
Yes, that'll be a good game. It'll be decent. Brady Grundy revenge arc.
Yes.
That's a James Jordan revenge arc.
That's a big MCC game.
Big RM Williams Day. Yeah, put out your RMs for South
They might have
Melbourne
to
and
set
Melbourne.
the Fox Footy cameras on the other side of the ground to actually show the crowd.
Well, they have to just take a chunk out of the stadium.
Yeah,
put some cameras in
Yeah, like they do it. They do at GMHBA Stadium when they play W there. They get the camera on the other side.
Yes, they do.
Show the crowd. Anyway, let's get across to, I nearly said the Wacker, Optus Stadium.
Bring back the
Wacker. One of my earliest
Mitchell
memories
Johnson.
as a football fan was watching the Swans get absolutely smoked by West Coast at the Wacker on a Saturday night.
Oh, that's not
Round 2, 1996. The
we
Swans
weren't
got
even alive.
absolutely smoked.
I wasn't even a twinkle in my father's eye.
I remember that. I remember Mickey O'Loughlin kicking our first goal. We're about 9 goals
I
down.
love Mickey O'Loughlin.
There we are. Anyway, Wallitij Marawar, the West Coast Eagles, 16-12-108, defeated Euro-Yroke, Leo's boys, St Kilda, 12-8-80. Oh, when the Saints, I need to figure out what the rest of the song is. When the Saints go marching down.
Go crashing down. Yeah, what the hell?
All the Saints fans that have been lippy to me so far this year. It all came home to roost.
Leo, you've been the Saints believer.
You're a truther.
And I don't know if that's going to be happening anymore. I'll start on the positives. The fact that the Eagles
West Coast smashed them.
West Coast smashed them. They scored 108 points. This is the most composed that the Eagles have looked all season. They just were really smart options by hand and foot. I saw a few times where usually they get tackled and make the wrong option. They were getting quick hands. They'd usually not go the switch. They'd just go long down the line. They were taking risks. I thought this was a really, really great performance by West Coast.
Mature performance.
I think this is probably their best performance since anything early last year, I'd say. Awesome first half, I'm going to say, especially. Brady Hoff, he was unbelievable. I need to get up his stats in a second, but he was really good in the midfield. They've put him in the midfield there. I think you talked about it last week. And they've moved a few guys around, and it's finally just clicking a bit because he shouldn't be playing anywhere else, Brady Hoff. He was really good.
I reckon he can float through half back. He's a good kick.
I was saying last week how good he was been going.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
It was also like a very strong mental performance from the Eagles as well.
Yes.
Given what's gone on in the past 24 hours over in Perth.
Very good point, yeah.
So that they've been able to get up and win that game as well and do it in style is massive. And I know it's like it's sport at the end of the day. We're chasing around a piece of leather and watching that. But hopefully just for a couple of hours, everyone can sort of compartmentalize, watch the game and feel a little bit better because it's been a pretty crappy couple of weeks or a couple of months for... Yeah.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. Brady Hoff, the stat I just wanted to talk about, 24 disposals. Just another guy in there that can get a lot of disposals. Harley Reid took another hanger. He was actually pretty solid. He was really solid. Took another
best
hanger.
game of the year for him.
He didn't let his emotions get the better of him, which is what you want to see. An Eagles fan, you're going, if he lets his emotions get the better of him, sometimes happens with Jason Horne-Francis. Jason Horne-Francis turns that into a good game. I think Harley Reid goes the other way where he just concentrates too much, but he was really solid and he was a big part of the win. The Saints, they actually dominated the clearances in this one.
Doesn't surprise me.
Which surprised me a little bit because they got smashed, but the Eagles were just really good on the counter-attack. They had the last quarter, especially Liam Ryan.
Really opened up.
It opened up in the last quarter.
They were just flinging it around.
Flinging around everywhere. Liam Ryan just showed that his fitness is a lot better, I thought, than since he's come back. He set up a lot of goals, got a couple of goals as well.
West Coast are a 2 to 3 goal better side when Liam Ryan plays well.
Oh, I love it.
Also, remember, they've got and McGovern to come back.
Yeah, so
McGovern's a big one.
I, on the Thursday show, gave him no chance, West Coast, without McGovern. Who was it? Sandy Brock was solid. He took a few marks.
The Brock star.
They've got a few pieces there that are going okay, better than probably a lot of people first thought. There's a few positives for the Saints. Jack Higgins, another 4 goals. He just keeps kicking goals.
But it's against, it's against West Coast,
but
and they lost.
He's got goals every week. It's not his fault. I think the main fault is them, again, kicking to him as a long option. Yeah. He's tiny. He's like the smallest person on the ground. That's really frustrating.
You would know that being a small man
exactly.
yourself.
I'm not getting marks down the line.
They don't have impact as a collective. Like they can do all they want with the ball. They can win clearances. That's all great. But none of it has any meaningful impact.
Yeah. A guy that did have meaningful impact was Rowan Marshall. He was unbelievable. 27 disposals, 40 hitouts, a goal. He had 8 marks as well, 5 clearances. He towed up Flinny and Bailey Williams.
Poor Flinny.
Flinny was actually pretty solid. He had 30 hit outs
Justice for
himself.
Flinny.
But Ron Marshall's just the class above and proved that he's in the talk. Another guy that's better than Lloyd Meek, in my opinion.
And West Coast fans
It
are just,
doesn't upset me.
West Coast fans are, hell yes, we've won a game.
Yeah, and West Coast fans will be happy because they've had some close games at home. So
And Richmond last week
it's
as
not
well.
easy to play over in the West still.
They
at
would have
least.
had a little bit of confidence going into it. Like I had them to lead at halftime as my surprise of the weekend, which I'm a bit annoyed I didn't tip West Coast in the end. So well done to the Eagles, and Saints fans
You shouldn't be losing that. Like, Saints fans would be filthy. Because
Didn't I say to be the most St Kilda thing ever to go over to Perth and lose?
You did.
I've said that
And
many times. I said that.
He said that
I
one.
think there's no chance they're going to make the finals now. So.
Oh, no, they're done.
Leo
just
still
give him
thinks
a
they
little
can.
bit.
9 and 14,
Just give
Leo.
them a little
9
bit.
and 14.
They got 2 weeks of the bye. If they win both those, they're back on.
They're not going to win.
No, they got the
9
Suns
and 14.
They're winning.
Anyway, tipping results. It says there I got 7. I got 6.
You liar. I got 5 because I tipped the draw.
Yeah, between North and
Tell you what, you were on.
I know.
I was really excited. If Taranto got that goal.
Did you have $10 on it, by the way?
I thought about it, but I was like,
Don't
probably-
bet on the draw.
probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but if it was a draw and you didn't have $10 on it, the
Yeah,
draw's
I know.
50. It's like you're an idiot.
Yeah,
You spent $10 on worse things, I'm sure.
That's off the camera, that one.
At fancy French food places.
Fancy French food. Yeah, that's a bit of a tongue twister.
French food places.
Say
Listen,
that
kids,
5 times quickly.
don't tip the draw. I got that.
Don't tip the draw.
Jesus.
No, don't tip the draw. That is
Don't
true.
dip on the draw.
Anyway, next star segment, I reckon.
Big call results, Gerald. Please hit the bit. This guy, he's on 3 for the year.
Oh
He's
my
extended his lead. Geelong 40 plus. Nailed it.
I was so close.
Stats guy, Toby Green to have. I said he could just say 4 goals, but he got bullied into 15 possessions. And
He got the 15, but he didn't get anywhere
the
near
goals was more important.
He's lost all confidence.
Marcus said Baz Smith and Hornet would get in a fight. I was like, how is this a big call? It didn't happen. Leo Kennedy, 25, 6 clearances and a goal. He's just missed. 31, 4 and a goal.
I would have given you 25. Oh no, 6 clearances. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's a bit unlucky.
I was
no
so
half points here.
close. Bam, bam. Nearly did it for me.
Yeah.
Mater Day legend, Matt Kennedy. All right, best on ground of the week. This is you,
Okay.
Leo.
This is me.
1 vote.
1 vote. S. Bolton.
Yeah, he was great.
He was superb. 24, 3 goals. Best game for Freo. Very good.
Yeah.
2 votes.
Also, Jeremy Cameron stiff. 2 votes.
Oh, Jerry Cameron's on it.
5 goals for Jezza in junk time. It doesn't count.
I agree, but 7 goals is a lot.
Because of this man right here. D. Bale. B. Dale.
B.
I was
Dale.
like, hold on, you've got it wrong purposely.
I know. B. Dale. I mean, the bloke nearly got 50 disposals.
He was
Like, you
crazy.
have to give him the vote.
He had 2 tackles.
I love that.
He was superb. Like, just running all day for the dogs.
Yeah.
Love feeding him. And then the last one, 3 votes. Cumming. He was great for Adelaide.
Cumming.
He played a really important role. And yeah, unfortunately though, Crows lost.
Wait.
Heeney, 3 votes.
Alex
38 disposals.
I was gonna get
2 goals.
There was going to be a hole in the wall behind you when I threw. Like, this is.
Oh,
It's pretty
That
solid.
sounds like my skull.
Yeah.
Alex was about to get 5.
No, Heeney, I think he had to. I know he kicked 5 points, but at the end of the day, like, he was just monumental.
If he kicks 5 goals too, everyone's losing their
scary.
mind.
I was still losing my mind. That's an
it's
awesome
like-
game.
So, because I want to ask this, because I was talking about this on Friday night with a few people. And it's like, if Isaac Heeney had done that on a Friday night at Marvel Stadium, if he was playing for the Western Bulldogs or Essendon or St Kilda, would we be talking about him as one of the great players in the competition? Like,
I think
one of
he's
the
dropped off
all-time
a bit this
performances.
year, but
Well, he
yeah.
hasn't started as strong, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
for what he did last year, for what he also
Yeah.
did in the finals last year, everyone only thinks of the grand final day. And because he's a Swan, because we're so
I just
based
think
on the
maybe-
Melbourne stuff. He's same with Lachie Neale. Like,
Yeah. Maybe we need a bit more consistency with Heeney, I think. Just from this, like, I'm talking like
This
from,
season or in the year.
Like last year, brilliant.
he's been fantastic the last couple
He
of
has,
weeks.
he has, but I more mean like, I want to see that for like more than like 2
month.
seasons.
Oh, yeah, 2
Because
seasons.
like
yeah.
we talk about Bont and these guys, they're elite level
Also,
for
Heeney
years.
was amazing in 2023. Kicked 50 goals and then had
That's true,
and then
that's
was
true.
average in 23 was amazing. 22 was amazing. 23 a bit off. 24 he exploded.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
I know what you're saying. I know what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I love Isaac Heeney.
Really?
I love
Come
Isaac
back,
coming.
come back, Errol.
Yeah, you just said Errol back. Yeah.
I tell you what, if that had coincides with my return from Europe,
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Full credit stats guy, best team. This is the most obvious three of all of the week, and you've got one of them wrong.
No,
I agree.
Don't mind.
One vote for the best team of the round is the Dogs. I know it was against
W-Dogs,
Essendon. I know it was against
W-Dogs.
Essendon, but they were so clinical. Didn't miss a target. I thought the actual system played like they would have beaten anyone by at least 40 points on Friday night.
I'm going to hold my anger
Saturday,
till the end
Saturday.
of this because I know the rest of the list. Continue.
Yeah, you can say it if you want.
No, because I don't want to give it away.
All right, no worries. 2 votes to the Eagles. Unbelievable.
Eagles.
The Eagles were just unbelievable. That I thought the Saints would.
I think West Coast also need to change the name to Wallitij Marawar full time.
Yeah.
They're 1-0.
They're 1-0 as well.
Your 0-8 is West Coast.
Very true. So that's 2 votes.
0-9.
And then 3 votes has to go to the Demons. No one thought that they would beat
Demons.
Brisbane. They proved that probably Brisbane aren't going as well as they should be. And the Demons just proved that they can do something in the last quarter. It was an unbelievable
good.
win.
That's a great win.
They were so fast and they were clearly the
How
best
have
team
you
in the
not
round.
put Fremantle in this? It's
not the way to go, mate. It's
They've
not the way
gone
to go.
to Sydney and won.
Can I say one thing on that? You said you don't rate GWS that highly. And I think Freo...
I rate
No one rates
Essendon even worse. Essendon are a bottom 6 team.
I think I watched both games.
You've had the Dogs at Marvel at the Don Dome smacking them as we thought.
Can I defend my beloved stats man? Don't do that.
That was weird.
Freo, I think, shouldn't deserve to be here because they are just so flip-floppy.
Yes.
But
I
we're
know
talking
the win
about
is
it's of
great.
the round. It's not for what they've done for the season. It's what they've done
But
this
they're
weekend.
bad boys. They deserve to be in timeout. But getting their fans' hopes up and then chopping them miserably. Just play consistent, Freo, and
I
we'll
agree.
put you in.
And we'll put you in.
I
Thank you
know
very
it's
much.
best team of the round, though,
No,
so that
Bulldogs
doesn't,
were better.
that
Bulldogs
doesn't
were
really make sense.
They were Freo were better than the Dogs.
I don't think I believe what I just said.
No.
Anyway,
That's my tagline.
Guess who runs this segment? Me and not you two. So that's how I'm going to end it. Thank you very much.
Oh, he just ended the show.
Yeah,
On
thank
that
you.
high note, that'll do us today for AFL Today for the Round 10 wrap-up. If you did enjoy today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. I know what the boys are going to be up to the next 5 weeks. It is going to be a bunch of fun stuff across the
It's a
socials.
bit like Big Brother.
Yeah, I'm letting the inmates are running the
chaos.
asylum. It's going to be a great time. I
Yes.
can't wait to see it. There's going to be a lot of collabs going forward. There's a lot of good stuff planned. So make sure you tune in across the socials. Make sure you subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast app. Cricket Today, which, I mean, if the IPL's back, you guys should be back.
Yeah, we'll do a few more episodes coming up.
AFLW Today, we are deep in planning for that. Hold all tickets where I tipped one winner on the weekend. So
that's more
that
better than
helps.
none.
Hey, over the 3 tips, this was $3.50. So if you $10 level stake, you're in front. Happy days. True Bloods, of course. The boys will be up and about after the win on Friday night we won. Big game against the Dees later this week. Of course, honest beers for Wally and Leggy. A different week this week because both of their teams lost.
It's going to be a sad week.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll still find a positive. Wally will still spin it, I'm sure. And of course, thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, Stats Man.
Go Roos.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
You and Marnie should have done some sort of a collab for the win.
Maybe I'll give her a call.
Exactly.
Buzz.
And of course, producer Gerald and his new awesome haircut behind the scenes
Yeah,
as well.
fresh.
God,
Can you come
looks
out,
good.
Gerald, and show the
No,
audience?
Show the-
that's
we
a
will
big
get
no.
Gerald on camera one day. But anyway, it's been a good show, boys.
Yeah,
Great
very
show.
good.
They'll
Have a good trip.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, enjoy.
I will.
Sayonara.
Yes, exactly. What's goodbye in Greek? I got no idea.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Arrivederci.
All right, the boys will catch you on Thursday for the preview of round 11 and the second week of Sir Doug Nicholls Round.